Hi everyone, my name is Surina, you're watching Now It's So Vivid, and today I'm going to talk about kind of an uncomfortable subject, and I realize ahead of time that it might rub people the wrong way. This video is about attention seeking. I've been ruminating the past couple days on some aspects of human behavior. It has a lot to do with things that are going on in my personal life. There's some drama going on that happened sort of immediately following my wedding. It's nothing really to get into here, but I mean, it goes without saying that whenever a big dramatic event happens in your life, it really makes you think very deeply about interactions with other people and behaviors and how they affect the world around you. And to me, that is a kind of form of magic, an unintentional magic that we all choose to participate in all the time. And it's interesting and thought-provoking to me that, you know, people who stir up the drama pot seek attention. That's kind of the point of drama. And it may not, we always accuse people, it's a very negative connotation we often associate with seeking attention. But, you know, I'm kind of in defense of seeking attention. I just feel like a lot of people seek attention with the wrong approach, and that is why it is often perceived as negative. For instance, people who like to start shit and meddle in other people's lives and relationships and stuff like that, they're seeking a certain type of attention, and they're doing it in a very unhealthy and unhelpful way. So obviously that's not that's not a good thing. It's a negative, but attention seeking itself, I feel like, is something that's kind of involuntary for humans. We kind of attach onto each other in one form or another. It's not simply about constantly being validated or having this obsession over being a pleaser of everyone, because I think over time, especially the older you get, you kind of make peace with the fact that you're not going to please everyone. And I've heard so many people who have entered like a certain age range of their life that are just like, nope, got no fucks for that anymore. Like, they really just don't care if they piss people off. And that's not to say that once you reach a certain age, you instantly become like a jaded asshole and, you know, need to, you're intentionally trying to like, give people the finger whenever they have constructive criticism for you. But, you know, yeah, you come to terms with the fact eventually that you can't please everyone, and you will offend some people, and some people will be ambivalent to the things you do. You know what I mean? Like, you get some kind of attention from nearly everyone. So attention itself is not, I feel like, the bad thing here. I don't think that it's the villain in this equation. I think that it's something that we require as a species, and I'm pretty sure there's some sort of science to back that up, but I myself am not in the mood to just like go digging around on the internet. I just feel it in my bones that there is a part of us all that needs to be validated no matter what. You know what I mean? And it maybe not as unhealthy as we think. It's just how we go about doing it that can be healthy or unhealthy. And, you know, this was a conversation I really had to make sense to myself about as a woman and as an artist, and even as a witch, because honestly there is a culture now that is unavoidable. I mean, I don't have to participate in it, but it is part of our world, and I can't pretend it doesn't exist. So if I want to be seen, or if I want to make friends, I have to put myself out there. And that is exactly what this YouTube channel is intended to do. It's intended to reach a community of people, engage in a dialogue. And, you know, for the longest time, especially as a YouTube pagan, I struggled with this bizarre, like, criticism of myself that by publicly putting this stuff out on the internet, that I was an attention seeking, that I was just being an attention whore. And I feel like those sort of accusations are just so ingrained in the cultural psyche that it's very easy for anyone who starts up something like this to just be like, oh my God, am I just doing it for attention? I'm here to tell you right now that if you're sitting in front of your camera, one, you are making yourself vulnerable, and that is a brave act. It is not always good to do that. Like, you don't want to be consistently vulnerable. You have to put up your shield sometimes, but being vulnerable is fucking brave. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. But also, you know, attention seeking is not a bad thing. It's not. It's just a thing that we do. And some people need it a little bit more than others. And I think eventually people just sort of like learn their own rhythm and learn what triggers them and what satisfies their needs. So yeah, if you're doing it from a place of like proper enthusiasm, sharing your YouTube channel or, you know, whatever it is, whatever sort of artistic media or accomplishment you want to share, like, I feel like people focus so much sometimes on, you know, if you're only doing this to be validated by other people. Well, you know, maybe they are doing it to feel validated by other people, but that's so common, and that's just kind of like a human characteristic, you know what I mean? Like, not everybody needs the same kind of validation, but we all need to feel to a certain level validated in order to feel like we're doing it right. You know what I mean? And everything, down to like the basics of living. Like, we have to look up to other people at sometimes. We focus so much on that little nugget that we don't realize that, yes, we are trying to be validated by someone, and that can be okay sometimes, and it's when your need for validation consumes you, and that is the only motivation for showing people, and not out of genuine pride in your own accomplishments. Like, I feel like that's a problem. But it's so complex. Like, nobody could ever tell you if you're doing that. Only you can determine that for yourself. So, and I just feel, I don't know, I'm getting like kind of irritated these days at this cultural dialogue against people who are entitled. Like, I'm sorry, but we're all entitled to something. And I think that, you know, human decency, clean water and air, shelter, a sense of self-security, like, I don't think that any of those things are too much to ask for. You know what I mean? So it just gets under my skin when people are like, oh, you're just entitled. Like yes I am. We're all entitled. Stop, you know, pointing me out as if I'm like the only lone entitled person. Whatever. I'll stop that thought there. And even in spiritual terms, you know, people seek attention. We seek attention of the gods, of the cosmos, of the energies of the universe. We seek their attention. We ask for attention all the time in different ways. It can be done in a conscientious and mindful way. We can, you know, think before we, you know, lash out at people. If we feel hurt by something they have done, we can take a step back and wait until that explosive emotion has died down to get our feelings across. So, you know, I think communication above all is really important for the human experience, and I think that we're learning this more and more. And, you know, communication isn't simply words. It's not just talk. It's not just messages. It's also space and giving people their alone time when they require it, and knowing that you also may need to sequester yourself for fear of just emitting unwelcome energy into other people's lives. And I'm not saying it's easy. It is not easy. I am not a perfect person here, so don't think I'm lecturing you. I'm just offering an idea. I am terrible about, when I'm in a bad mood, I'm cranky, I stomp like a toddler. I am the first person to stick my foot in my mouth. So honestly, just if I can offer any advice based on my own current personal experience, it's that listen to your needs, man. And if you need to be alone and be unapologetic about it, because I'm just seeing a lot of like shitty behavior from one person to another, and I just don't want to participate in that anymore. And I know I'm capable of it. I think most people are capable of it, but it's how we attempt to look at ourselves, and it's how we take responsibility for our actions that skews that experience from the side of negative, endlessly negative, and sort of tips it back towards the positive side. So, I'm sorry. This conversation, well, I guess I'm not sorry. Whatever. I'm glad that I got this off my chest, not just for you guys, but for me. But, you know, this has been a very interesting past couple weeks for me. I can't say all of it's been good, but a lot of it has felt stable. For the first time, I kind of feel like I'm leveling out a little bit, and I don't know if it's just the transformative experience of getting married, or, you know, having my 28th birthday the other week, or who knows what it is, but I'm just kind of rolling with it right now. I'm trying to use these experiences as a learning tool, because I think I in the past have definitely had this propensity to just kind of like blitz right by shit and not necessarily confront it or meditate on it in any meaningful way. So that's what I'm doing right now, just in case you guys were wondering. Anyway, them's my thoughts. I'll talk to you guys later. Sweet dreams, everybody. See you next time.